Now, as we've been reporting, President Trump has announced the U.S. will impose 100% tariffs on countries that do business with Russia. That's if there's no peace deal to end the war with Ukraine in 50 days. BBC News correspondent Charlotte Gallagher joins us now from Kyiv to talk about all of this. Charlotte, good morning to you. I know it's the afternoon where you are in the world. I'm wondering how people there are reacting, though, to this Trump ultimatum, and also if you have any reaction to this new Financial Times reporting that suggests the president asks Zelensky if he would be able to hit Moscow.
Well, that was really interesting, wasn't it, Errol? And quite surprising, I think, to a lot of people when they saw that online this morning. The suggestion that President Trump had said to President Zelensky, could you hit Moscow with one of these long-range missiles? And we've asked the presidential office here in Ukraine if they've got any comment on that. And they've said they will not confirm, nor will they deny. So we don't know too much about that, but it certainly seems that people who were briefed on that call, that's definitely the information they were receiving. So perhaps we'll hear more on that in the coming days. But reaction to that news here in Kyiv about, firstly, the Patriot air defense missiles, which are going to be coming to Ukraine after President Trump did that deal with NATO and the EU. I think there's great relief about that. This is something that President Zelensky has been asking for some time. The problem with Patriots is they're very good at what they do in targeting these long-range missiles coming into the country, but they're very expensive. They take a long time to make, and there aren't many of them. So Ukraine, really, they said, needed more and more, but other countries didn't want to give theirs up. Now, President Trump has done a deal, he says, with NATO, where some European countries will send theirs to Ukraine, and then the US will then send some more to those European countries. But he said the United States will not be paying for those. They will be paid for out of the European Union budget. So great relief about that, and also the weapons. And then this 50-day deadline that President Trump has suggested that President Putin will have to stick to, essentially, to find a ceasefire, to find a deal to end this war with Ukraine. That's had a bit more of a mixed view here in Kyiv. Many people are saying that's another 50 days of airstrikes, of drone attacks throughout Ukraine. Why does he need another 50 days? He needs to come to the table now. I mean, not too far from where we are, just over my shoulder there at one of the monasteries, there's this wall outside the monastery, and it's just covered in photos of all the soldiers that have died in this conflict so far. And in fact, they can't fit photos of every single soldier on because there's just far too many. And it's just a real reminder of the human cost of this war so far, that thousands and thousands of soldiers have already died. So, of course, people here, they want this conflict over as soon as possible, Errol.
Yeah, and we know that during Zelensky's meetings with President Trump, he has continuously emphasized the toll on Ukrainian forces, the toll on Ukrainian civilians, as President Putin claims to want to come to a peaceful resolution. Charlotte Gallagher, great to get that up-to-the-minute information out of Kyiv for us this morning. Thanks for your time.